Hello, and welcome back to I've done that. Okay, welcome back to the Atomic Cast. Hello, my name's Tom, and today I am joined by Ben. Ben, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
That's not what I was told. Bert, say hi,
Hi.
and Jordan, say hello.
Hello.
Excellent. Um, we have been going to events and things, and we thought we'd come and tell you all about it because we know you guys love that. How are you guys doing? You right?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
good.
it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy. Delightful to be back. I feel like I missed out on the last one. It was very upsetting.
Yeah, we didn't invite Bert last time, but yeah. If you're happy that he's back, feel free to let us know in the comments. If you're sad that he's back, also let us know. Um, so yeah, we're just going to chat about some events that we've been to. I think the first one we didn't mention was last time was Frodo couldn't have done it alone, which is the name of the 80-point doubles event down in Factorum in Warminster that we went to. So me and Jordan, we were a team.
Yes.
Ben, you came along with Chris.
I came with Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, Bert, you didn't come because you hate fun.
Much. Yep. I
Yeah,
despise fun.
and then Henry was there with Tom.
Yep.
Was that our whole squad?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was it.
So we took three teams down, which was quite nice. Henry and Tom took Goblin Town and Spider Queen and Spiders as their kind of partnership. Ben, what did you guys take?
Me and Chris took Hunter Ox. No, no Bulk, no Azog, just the three named captains, and then it was something obscene. It was an obscene amount of Hunter Orcs for 800 points. To the
Jesus.
point we'll get into it, but we almost didn't manage to deploy our entire army in one of the games.
And Jordan, what heinous list did you make me take?
I made Tom take Witch King, Suladan, Shagrat, and Gorbag for the theme. Disgusting. We put
This,
Gorbag in for theme, so it's themey.
yeah. Um, So this event was 800 points, but so it was meant to be 400 each side, but you could have 50 points either way. So I had a very small like 350 point section, and Jordan had 450 because he was the pro player out of our group. Um, but yeah. So let's see how well should we do? Ben, tell us how it went for you.
Oh,
Oh,
it was mixed. It was mixed. So me and Chris rocked up. First game was uh what mission was it? I can't remember the mission. It was
ah,
Clash by Moonlight. It was Clash by Moonlight. We had our Hunter Orcs, we were very excited, and we were playing against Defenders of Helm's Deep. With all their yeah, Bert's face says it all, with all their throwing weapons and all the good stuff. The board we had was fun. I love a fun board, but it was absolutely cracked because essentially half the board was just cliffs, and only two of the cliffs had ways up and down. So we did the roll off. We got we lost it. They picked the board side. We picked our board side, and then we gradually then just started deploying endless swarms of hunter orcs to the point where we thought these might not all fit. Squished them all in. Was a very close game in the end. We lost 5-3, which wasn't bad considering the amount of throwing weapons that came our way. For all of you defenders of Helm's Deep haters out there, we killed Halith. He went down,
no,
which was
the
the key.
child.
The child, which was the key main thing. So bit of a rough ride on that one, but it was good. It was good fun. So we enjoyed that one. Then we played uh then we played two gentlemen at Carl. It was we got basically split up. It was one of the doubles scenarios we were split up quite a lot. We played against Helmsguard, and again we lost 5-3, but an incredibly tight game where we almost tabled them. They had Helm left and like two models. But yeah, just couldn't quite get there. Just couldn't quite get there. Then final game was against Easterlings and Mordor. So this was Camul on Felbeast, bunch of Cataphracts, and then Gothmog and bunch of Morannons and some Black Numenorians. Um, this one went a lot better for us. We ended up getting a 11-0 win on this one. Managed to sort of like shred through their lines. Me and Chris's friendship was tested at one point as he had to roll some dice, and I said that we had the fell beast, Kamal and the fell beast trapped, and I was like, Chris, just go after the fell beast. I don't reckon you're going to get the rolls to take out Kamal. And he was like, nah, Ben, I got this. I got this. Rolled the dice. Did not kill Kamal. And I was like, I've crushed, mate. Absolutely crushed. He still stands by that was the correct decision. And to be fair, it didn't affect the game in the end. But I was like, just kill the fell beast, mate. That's all I need. But no, that was a good game. So all in all, it was fun. Me and Chris have got bold plans for potentially other doubles, but we might not be taking Hunter or Spam because they're a bit limited in the double scenario because they don't move very fast.
800 points of Hunter Orcs is wild.
Yeah, they die a lot quicker than you think. They go down very quickly at 800 points. But yeah, very enjoyable. So that was our experience. I can't remember where we placed. I think you've got it on the slide coming. But
yeah, that's the next slide.
Yeah. Sorry, won't ruin the fun. Don't rush the fun. But yeah, no, it was good, enjoyable tournament. The terrain was different, very different to what we're sort of used to. Ended up having to have the TO clarify a few things with the terrain. We ended up almost playing on the weather top board, which would have meant that our opponents couldn't use any of their cataphracts for the game. So we ended up actually moving tables so that our opponents could actually play the game.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So that was me and Chris. We had a good time.
Sweet. Jordan, do you want to tell everyone about ours?
Yeah. So we took the really underpowered list of Suladan, Shagrat, Witch King, Gorbag. Game 1 was Clash versus Lake Town and Thranduil's Halls. When we got drawn with that, I just thought, that's it, we're done. But that's a bit of a theme for the whole weekend, was that I thought, that's it, we're done at deployment, and Tom was pretty chill most of the way through the day. We won that game. I can't remember how much we won it by, but effectively the elves went round one way, and we just managed to focus down on Lake Town and kill children. Shagrat killed 2 children.
It's 3-1, Jordan.
3-1. We won 3-1. Thank you, Tom. And then second game, we played against an all-mounted fiefdom Rohan list. In that one that Ben was saying, where it's all in the middle, and you've got to
it's a doubles version of assassination. So it's like divide and conquer style deployment. And then you pick a hero of your opponents to kill, but you can't communicate between each other which one you're picking. And then if you I had to go and explain it to the TO. But if you get a hero that they've chosen into the center of the board, you also get points for that. So, for example, if we had picked Gambling, if Gambling was alive in the center of the board at the end of the game, they get points. If we kill Gambling, we get points. If he's somewhere else, nothing happens.
Yeah, that was pretty much how it went. So we had to play against like all mounted fiefdoms Rohan. Again, I looked at the situation and went, we're not going to win this. Tom looked at the situation and went, just play and see what happens. I think we had it really lucky. I black darted the horse out from underneath Imrahil when he charged in, and then just somehow by a miracle survived long enough for Tom's Suladan and Shagrat to come and just slaughter everything. So yeah, Tom pretty much carried that game. In respect of kills, I think I just held on long enough for Tom to get to me and save me. And then our last game was against Mordor Isengard, and we had a bit of a quirky board. We had to get to the middle and then have as many models in the middle as possible. And we had a fort with 2 entrances that were facing corners. So basically the game came down to who could win the roll-off to have those opposing corners, and we won that roll-off. So it was just get to the gate and then die at the gates. Tom dealt with the Isengard and I dealt with the Mordor. We had 1 orc tracker kill the Witch King, which was pretty wild. And then we had the guy had like the worst luck with his courage tests on both his trolls because they just both failed courage tests when it came to break. And we just managed to like hold on, and I think we did quite well in that game. That game was probably our most comfortable game. In respect of like the deployment really helped, but yeah, I think that was probably our most comfortable game. It was the one that I looked at and went, if we win this roll off, I think we've got a chance.
Yeah, like I was busy touching up the terrain on the tables and stuff when the guys came over, and then they're like, "Oh, he's changing the terrain around. He's cheating," and that's when I was like, "Fine, we won't even bother suggesting. We make the holes bigger on either sides. We'll just take it for a little roll off and see what happens." Um, but yeah, no, it was all right. Yeah, we won 3-1 on the first one. Was because Shagrat heroic combat into some small children and killed them.
My
Um,
man.
and then Bar just ended up spending the entire game fighting Shagrat and still didn't manage to kill him. So we both had a hero left alive, but we'd killed small children and Hilda.
Yeah, we killed Hilda.
Yeah, killed
Gorback
Hilda.
killed Hilda.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
yeah.
only thing I did that game.
um, and then yeah, the Rohan Fiefdoms one where you just didn't die, which was nice.
It
Um,
was,
yeah, on a board with zero train on it.
yeah,
Variety.
it was wild. That was the one game where it like would have been
Balance.
nice to have terrain.
Yeah,
Just
we,
stagger
we
the game
really we
closer
played
to
our
start
first one in like the middle of really dense woodland. Our second one on nothing,
the field.
and
Yeah,
our third one on a massive fort that took up half the board. Variety. To an aspiring TO out there, don't do that.
sorry.
Um, let's see. Here he is. So the next slide should be no.
The,
Oh, it's
res-
gone too far, mate. I'm
the
so bad.
results. Oh, what the?
Hey, the final standings. So Dan Hawkins and David Clubley came first. They brought Salt on a Florian, but with loads and loads of spiders and nothing else interesting, basically. Um, there are strong rumours that Hawkins didn't even tell Clubley what the list was until he got in the car. Um, it was Musga, 2 Wild Riders with banners, and a Bat Swarm, Ashrak, 10 giant spiders, Druzag, 12 giant spiders, and a Bat Swarm. That was the list.
I adore it.
So that was fun. And then me and Jordan, we came second.
Hey.
And
Yes.
there's a lovely fetching picture of Jordan with his trophy, slash coaster. Um,
Yeah.
Where is your trophy at present, Tom?
My trophy at present is over with the other the nominal trophies I've won. Yeah, it's sat over on the
Need a shelf,
thing.
mate. You need a shelf.
Well, I've pretty much taken the top of the unit, so that's now mine. There's 3 up there.
I win. I win.
and then in third place was James Patterson and Joe Gonzalez with bears. So they had just 2 bears and a bunch of buildings. So yeah, it was quite fun. What did you guys think of the event in general? Oh, hang on.
I
Where
really enjoyed
did
it.
you finish, Ben? Hang on. I ignored
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
we need to give a shout. We need to give a shout. So Tom, Dove, and Henry came sixth,
nice.
and I don't know for certain about the games, but I'm pretty sure they won 2, lost 1, and I know one particular game they played was against Azog's Hunters against and the Trolls, and I'm pretty sure our man Henry just one shot most of the Trolls in that game, and it went gloriously well for him.
So they lost their first game, then they won their next 2.
Nice.
They played Josh Wheeler and Tom Parry, who I believe had like Goblin Town. Oh no, they had Hunter Orcs. Hunter Orcs and then the 3 Trolls. That was
Yep.
the second game. And in the third game, they played Jack Life and Eric Puerto, who had Helmsguard.
Yes, those were the chats me and Chris played in the second round.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, it went really well for them. And then me and Chris came 10th, which I think we were both quite surprised about, both pretty happy about, because we had lost 2 out of our 3 games, but they weren't terrible losses. And then our final win was quite a good win.
So
So
he's got you down as 2 minor wins and a major loss. Sorry, 2 minor losses and a major win.
yes, yeah, which really helped. So always push for those minor losses.
And you were just below the guys we played first. You had a
Mm.
loss and then a draw and then a win. That's exciting. But yeah. Yeah. First of all, doubles events? How was you feeling about doubles?
I personally hate the double scenarios. They push towards one particular type of list construction, and I don't want to bring cavalry. I just don't want to do it. So that side of it, not a massive fan of. Did like that we played a few of the oh, we only did it once, but we played one of the normal single scenarios. That was good. I enjoyed that. Um, Terrain wise, I liked that it was completely random with the terrain and a little bit unhinged, but at the same time was quite frustrating in some of the scenarios where it was like, there's nothing I can do. The terrain is actually screwing me slightly.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about it at a future point about just terrain in general. But I think my kind of philosophy with it has always been that it should impact the game, but not decide the game. So there should be significant in the ways, as I said, and line of sight blocking pieces. There should be things that you can go inside, move over, walls, barricades, that kind of stuff that you can kind of hold positions, force bottlenecks and stuff. But it shouldn't be a thing where you turn up and someone goes, "Oh, I'm going to deploy these cliffs and now I win because I've got the cliffs." Because that's not fun.
Yeah, you never really want. Playing those games where the initial roll off for board age matters a lot, and it's bad enough when both of you know it. It's even worse when you've clocked it and your opponent hasn't. I played a game
Mm.
on Destroy the Supplies where it's one of those like big bridges with two entrances, and I won the roll off. Took that. I went cool. I've gonna block off these two stairways, and you can't get into my supplies, and I have some high ground to shoot at you as well. That's the game pretty much over. I'm really sorry, and that never feels fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that one we had at the end where it was
Yeah,
almost a race straight to the middle fort.
that was
Um,
it.
to be fair, I kind of backed us to crack through it
Yeah, I
if
think
we'd
I
been
think
stuck on
our
the
list
outside.
was yeah, our list was okay. Like we had the tools to break through. Um, but yeah, like it it was unfortunate that the terrain really dictated. Like one dice roll pretty much made it an easier game for us than it could
Yeah,
have been. But I actually really enjoyed the event. I have been to Factorum before. I think it's quirky. It's a fun place to play. The terrain is absolutely mad. The first time I went, I ended up playing like this crazy game against Henry on Weathertop, and we just couldn't get our models in. It was mad. But like, yeah, I really enjoyed the event. To seemed like a nice guy. He wants to do more. Yeah, it was cool.
yeah,
Also,
I,
Jordan has every single time been to Factorum and every single time won something at Factorum.
I've been twice, and I,
and won something both
I
times.
Once
So
or both
both times
times,
you had
mate.
chicken on the way home, Jordan. That's
Don't
all right.
dampen your star, my friend.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all about the victory chicken.
that's it. Yeah, victory chicken. The curry afterwards was amazing.
Something for the comments, because me and Chris had a debate about this while we are at Factorum. They do food at Factorum. Chris ordered Chris ordered himself some like bacon sarnie wrap. Like I think he had like a
Pulled pork
bacon
bun.
sarnie. I
Get a
decided to
pulled pork
order
bun.
myself from the dessert menu the pancakes. That I feel is a legitimate adult decision for your lunch. Let us know in the comments if pancakes for lunch is sufficient because Chris is not on board.
Chris has been
I
bringing it
just had
up
a
pretty
burger
much
and cheesy
every
chips. I didn't realize there were pancakes on board.
Yeah, you should have looked at the bottom
Chris
of the menu, mate. There was some cracking stuff in the dessert,
Chris
and they were
has
lovely.
Chris has children. He can never go on public record saying that pancakes are a legitimate lunch. He will never hear the end of that ever.
Because we know his
True.
daughter
It's just
watches
against the
these, so
rules.
it's all right.
No, his daughter's well into the hobby, mate. She's making display boards. She's going
Yeah.
to be on the pod soon
She
Well,
makes
enough.
his
chocolate.
daughter's coming up later. Don't worry about that. It's all right. So to keep the GBHL AT train rolling, we then Bert, you did come to this one, so it's all right. You have opinions now. Went to Rain on the Mountain, which was run by Dewey Evans and Jamie Wiggins was also there. Um, They were hosting it down in Chippenham or Kington Langley. It's a little village hall outside Chippenham. It's a 50-person GBHL 80, and it had some additional weather effect rules in place. We took like the entire squad. I think we had 9 or 10 of us down there.
Yeah, it's huge.
For anyone who doesn't know geography in the southwest, Chippenham is like half an hour from where we are at most. So yeah, it's as close to local as you can get without being our own home event, essentially. Um, yeah, at one point we were a quarter of the event because it was only 40 people. Then he pushed it up to 50, which may come up later. Um, but yeah, it was quite nice to have the whole gang there. Um, so I took Lake Town, but I was doing it experimentally with some like I had Bane. Never taken Bane before. That was fun. Oh, he's crap.
Will you be bringing him again?
No, he was a bit of a liability. Um, yeah, so I ended up with all 3 children. I took all my axe swaps off my things. We're back to like normal Lake Town stuff. And just generally having a little muck around. Um, yeah, Ben, what did you take?
I took Uglut Scouts, so Uglut Grishnak, Malhur, and Urukai Scout Captain, and then basically as many bodies as I physically could get, which I think was about 47.
Nice. Bert?
Well, in a shocking plot twist, I took the Defenders of Helm's Deep because
The
I
only
I
army
don't
you
know how
own?
to play anything else. Sorry?
I say because it's the only army you own.
Yeah, pretty much. But because I'm a fun themey player, I did bring it with the King's Huntsman, who, much like Tom's Bane, it turns out the King's Huntsman is also utter crap. And I'll never be taking him again.
And Jordan, what did you take?
I took possibly the worst combination of Suladan Witch King you could imagine because I wrote the list like 5 minutes before submission deadline. Actually, the night of the doubles event, I got home really late, realized I hadn't submitted my list, wrote it really quick. Went, oh, that worked really well. I'll just take 200 points of our doubles list out, and I took the numbers out. So yeah, I took an awful Suladan Witch King
Took
Shagrat, and
every
that
single
is
orc
going to come
trapper
up. It's going to come up in a bit about how
out.
awful that list was.
Henry came along and he brought. What did he bring?
Lake,
Lake
Henry had
Town.
Lake, he had Lake Town
Lake
with
Lake
Bomber and
Town,
Dwalin.
Bomber, Bilbo,
Yeah.
Dwalin.
Oh yeah, he brought
Yeah.
Try Hard Lake Town. Um, and Aaron came and he brought
He
Hunter
brought Hunter
Orcs,
Orcs. Yeah,
Hunter
Hunter
Orcs.
Orcs.
and
Chris came
came.
with Hunter Orcs.
Chris came with Hunter Orcs. Did Tom Dove come? Tom Dove came. Did Tom Dove come?
No.
I don't
Yes, we
think he
picked him up from
did.
his house.
Did you? No, we picked him up for doubles.
Whose house did we go to?
No one's.
Where,
You just.
where did Curry? No, Curry was doubles. Oh yeah.
Thomas doubles.
When
We
did
didn't
Curry-
we didn't go for. It's sad that we only know the event by the food we had afterwards. We didn't have a curry after Rain on the Mountain. We
No,
went
we
to
went
like
to the
a
Brewers
Brewers
Fair.
Fair.
The
Brewers
Brewers
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah,
Yes.
the curry was by far superior to the Brewers Fair.
Bert can
Yes,
tell us all
correct.
about Brewers Fair afterwards.
Um, George came.
Yep.
Brought Breaking the Fellowship.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nick came. He brought Maury with a Watcher. Um,
A good pick considering the amount of water that was there.
yeah, there was a lot of water. Yes. Should we go game by game? No, I'll rattle all mine off. First game was Divide and Conquer, and I was playing against Aeol the Young and a Captain of Rohan with a bunch of Sons of Aeol, all mounted. Um, and basically, the story of this game was that there's a massive river through the middle of the board. Half my army got stuck on the other side of it, and the other half did not, and got murked by Aeol and a bunch of cavalry. Um, There was a lovely opportunity early on to like heroic combat Bard into his captain and drop the captain. But then what Bard did was he heroic combat into the captain and then whiffed his combats and lost his horse and then was kind of trapped and dead for the rest of the game, which wasn't very helpful. Um, yeah, basically everything that could go wrong went wrong. It was great. Then I played a lad who um I think he was in like he'd only played a couple of games and he had turned up with Azog, a whole load of wargs, Lance Boy, and like two mercenary warbands full of stuff. And we were playing to the death. So I shot him with some bows, and then we had about one turn of combat, and he was like, "Oh, this is done." And then he went home, because he apparently had a really bad time like game 1, 2. Um, so yeah, then I felt a little bit bad, but also yeah, he wasn't really having a good time anyway. I don't think. Um, he had a hurty leg as well. He was like limping around. So yeah. Game 3, I played Katie
Yeah.
Webster, and her halls of Frandy, who had like little umbrellas because it was raining. That was the game with the lightning strikes.
Yeah.
The lightning. We were playing Command the Battlefields.
Yeah.
Um,
Tom, do you want to talk us through how the lightning did work and how the lightning maybe should have worked?
so the lightning was you rolled a d6 at the start of the turn, and that many lightning strikes happened, and you got to pick where the lightning happened, and then roll a scatter dice and a d6, and it went d6 inches in the direction of scatter dice. If anyone's seen a scatter dice before, 1 in 3 sides of a scatter dice is a direct hit. That direct hit was then what, a strength 5 hit or something?
It was strength 5.
So I was playing with a D4 army, and the vast majority of Katie's was D5. So what we were doing was going, here's D6. Oh, we rolled sixes a lot in that. And then it was like, yeah, 4 up, that thing's dead. 4 up, that thing's dead. 4 up, that thing's dead. We killed more things with lightning than we did with the game. Um, what a lovely time. The perfect opportunity to put a bunch of children on the table. Um, they just got absolutely wrecked by lightning. So that was fun. Uh, lightning. So I lost that game. Um, just it was quite close. And then I played Chris Webster with his bears on Caesar Prize. I marched up onto the prize, grabbed the prize, gave it to Braga. He marched away again in the opposite direction, and then hid in a building until um, the final turn, and then he marched across the line to the other side of the board, so I won. And that was that basically. I just fed him boys until then Bard got involved and killed all the little dudes. Yeah, that was basically it. So 2 wins, 2 losses. So it was an all right day out. Um, yeah, the Lightning was a bitch. I don't even remember what the weather was in the other 3 rounds. That's how much of a bitch the Lightning was. But yeah, how did your day go, Ben?
The trauma ruined it for you. It went surprisingly well. So first game on Divide and Conquer was against Defenders of Helm's Deep because apparently like, that's all I play. But I need you to stop making. He's even walked off. He needs to stop making Defenders of Helm's Deep a thing. So played that one. Nice bloke. Ended up winning that one 5-3. Because essentially just pinned Theoden his lot in a corner. He went to go and save Theoden, and then basically the game ended. I was on two of the bits. So that was good. I was happy with that one. Will say that game was at night time, and again, throwing weapons were causing me quite a lot of issues. People just going in, hitting on a 4, killing all my stuff on a 4 does get slightly tiresome quite quickly, but it was fine. Second game, I decided to avenge Tom, and I played against the chap with the Sons of Earl. And this one was to the death. So I thought this is going to go really badly wrong for me. It subsequently didn't go really badly wrong for me and went really, really well and ended with an 8-0 victory to the Scouts, just as the Scouts and Orcs basically just chopped a lot of horsemen down in the process, which was very, very nice. So I was happy with that. Then, turn of events, I played against the Sons of Earl's father, in the third game with his Iron Heels on Commander
So,
Battlefield.
so Earl.
Yes, yes. Played against Iron Heels on that game, and I was a bit skeptical. So I won priority. I came on. I tried to scatter around a little bit because I was like, if he brings on these Iron Heels dwarves like directly behind me, could get a bit messy. He subsequently didn't, and this was the lightning strike game as well. So he deployed on the complete opposite side of the board. So we spent a number of turns just me basically running across the board towards him. There was a river in the middle. The lightning strikes were just raining down in chaos as we were going. I was losing a lot of blokes. Whereas I was wounding, he had his dwarves in shield wall. So I was wounding his dwarves on like sixes most of the time. So I got a few kills, but not too many. Managed to bait half of his army away. So essentially, I did feel a little bit bad. Dane never made it into combat with a single model for the whole game. Him and his contingent ran one way, and I basically just ran around with a scout captain and some scouts, and then fled as soon as he got near them. And then the rest of my army took out the rest of the dwarves. And then the game ended. I think it ended at a quarter. That one ended because a lightning strike landed and killed a dwarf, and that was all that was needed. So that game was done. So that was good, fun. I enjoyed that. So that was 3 wins at that point. So I was in a pretty nice spot. And then lo and behold, sees the prize. I play against the eventual winner of the tournament, and he's got Defenders of Helm's Deep because I haven't played against it enough as we go. Went really badly wrong. Just he played very, very well, not to diminish his play in any way. But I got onto the prize, and for 2 turns just failed to roll the 4 up to get the prize up. And then by the time I did pick it up, that third turn, all of these big heroes essentially chopped through my very squishy line. So that ended up an 11-0 loss in the end, which was sad. It was a sad, 10-0 loss. It was a sad way to end it, but I was happy. Three wins was pretty good on some pretty hard missions with some pretty crazy weather. And then just to lose at the end is fine. So yeah, it was a good time.
What you, Bert? How did your game go? Was it as full of Defenders of Helm's Deep?
All 4 of my games were full of Defenders of Helm's Deep, shockingly. So round 1, played against a lovely lad, his first tournament. He was playing Rutabi, Brorgir, and a Dragon Knight at Divide and Conquer. I took the tactical decision to run straight towards the middle. He took the tactical decision to run away from the middle, which made the game harder for him. And then right at the end of the game, after especially telling my opponent that this game you should probably go straight for the middle, moved my 1 model within 3 inches of the middle objective, outside of 3 inches, and had to sweat a fate roll on third and to try and hold on to the game. So that was a 3-2 win, which should have been 8-2, but I played it a bit like a boob. Round 2 was to the death against Iron Hills with no banner, so I felt pretty good about it. Then we hit our lines hits. My elves forgot that they were fight 5, and I lost a lot of fights. So I relied a lot on Thad and calling heroic combats. And I think I broke, and then like 3 turns later, I finally broke him and killed Dane. So that got a bit sweaty. He had like Dane and the Thorin Stonehelm. Thorin Stonehelm, as my opponent declared, is oh man, he's just the greatest. Because he got 3 points of might, which possibly isn't statistically likely. So by 5-3-1, like he spent 8 points of might throughout that game. It was phenomenal. But that was a bit squeaky.
He's the one who gets he gets it on a 5 up, right?
Yeah,
on
yeah,
a
and he
5 up,
can.
and he got it 5 times. It was
He's like
amazing,
Braga, but
absolutely
worse.
amazing. Yeah, but in this
Less
instance, better.
less notorious as a leader of men is foreign than is Braga. So
Yeah, it's a bit. So that was a bit sweaty. So we both broke. I killed Dane and had a banner, which helped. So I was doing okay. I was going on 2 wins. Then someone with the initials JW managed to screw up a draw and put me on 2 wins against somebody on a win and a loss, which was interesting. So I played Chris with all of his Hunter Orcs. And this was the lightning game, where the first 3 lightning strikes of the game, they were all just direct hits. They all hit Theoden, and Chris rolled 3 consecutive 5s, and Theoden just died. Turn 2, which was quite substantial. Took a lot of. So I kind of deployed in one corner, figuring I'll just kill Hunter Orcs, and then I'll have that quarter. I'll heroic combat into the other quarters, and then I'll win. If you don't have any heroes, it's really hard to heroic combat. It turns out. So I murdered up Hunter Orcs, and I think there was one courage test in it that could have made it quite tight. But Chris made it really well. He just got where he needed to be and then tried to kill himself as fast as possible, and it worked. And then round 4, I played Henry at Seize the Prize. There was a river on like to one side of the prize, which neither of us wanted. Henry won the roll off and opted to go on the side without the river, which is a very technically sound decision. We both marched up to the middle. Henry made another sound tactical decision of winning the heroic move off to get to the middle first. And
That's a good tactical decision.
It was a really good tactical decision. So then, late town were really good, and then Bilbo got the prize and turned himself invisible, and then he wandered off with the prize. This was also the moment in the tournament where somebody with the initials JW managed to reset the clock at some point. So we didn't really know how long was left in the round. So I just said, yeah, well, we assume that Bilbo had enough time to wander off the board.
Yeah, that was helpful when that happens.
Yeah, it's really helpful. It's really helpful. So I finished on 2 wins and 2 losses. Yeah, it was all right. I'm still really bad at playing defenders, apparently. But one day.
Do you not won the event, Bert?
I have won a non-GBHL event.
Yeah, but what won this GBHL event?
Defenders Helm's Deep did in fact win this event.
Yes.
He also built the list wrong, but he did win the event.
So that means he's even better at using it than you are if he's done it with a bad list.
He built it wrong and still won the bloody event. I bet his head didn't get lightning strike.
Jordan, babe,
sounds like you got it right.
How did your day go?
Awful. To a word. Like you couldn't have gone from like a higher high finishing seconds to where my day went. So Divide and Conquer, I ended up playing Lothlorien. I've never played against them. I know about them. I collect them myself. Man had Galadriel, Celeborn, and just like all like manner of craziness. We're playing Divide and Conquer, and our board had like a river going around the center, like it was circle river and bridges over it, and it was the weather condition. And I know this because it screwed me up a bit. Was the one where if you went across water, you had to roll a save, and if you failed to save, you just fell in the water and died. So my guy ran for bridges, and I just ran for water. I got to the middle first. I held 2 objectives, and then he just shot me lots, and just thinned me out. And then I just figured like at that point I couldn't win. I didn't have the numbers to hold the middle, and I'd killed nothing. And I think he'd taken half my army out and shooting, so I just ran at him and tried to do some damage. I can't remember what I lost that game by, but there was definitely something nil. I then ran into to the death against Henry and his Lake Town, and again, just I didn't have the numbers. I ran at one part of his army with the bulk of my army, and then I sent like a small detachment with Gorbag and just like a few lads to just mop up one flank. I think I did all right in this game. I don't think it was that bad of a loss, but I did lose. Henry is definitely a much better player than me and had a much better list than me. So I got pulled to pieces in that game. I then played Command the Battlefield against Erebor Reclaimed, I think it is, the one with Old Dane and Dane's son. And he had like goat riders and stuff. I bought on. I sucked at bringing stuff on. I rolled 1 or 2 for pretty much everything for the first 3 rounds. Just nothing came on, and then when it did come on, my guy just bought something on straight behind it and was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna mess with your army now." Yeah, I got locked up. The dwarves spread out. He had goat riders, and yeah, we played to time. And at the end of time, like it was one of those situations where I think if it had been a couple more turns, I could maybe have spread out a little bit more. But also I could have been broken and died. So I lost that one. And then my last game was Caesar Prize against Kirith Ungol. I'd never played them before. I had a vague idea of what they did. I actually let my guy get to the middle first, and then I compelled the Uruk that picked it up forward. I charged him with Suladan and a Serpent Rider. I called a heroic combat, and I killed him, and I ran away like a chicken. Our game wasn't affected by the clock mishap by a certain Mr. JW because we finished within half an hour. So we actually ended up playing through our gamers to the death afterwards and just had a good fun time where he absolutely destroyed me afterwards. But I got a 7-0 win in my last game. So I finished with 3 losses and a win, which wasn't my best performance.
I have a selfie of me and you after your third game, and you are a broken soul. We're just sat on the stage together, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, my game went really well," and you were just like, "Yeah, I'm done, mate."
It was rough. It was like the list just wasn't. Write your lists a week before, people. If you're going to go to a GBHL tournament, write your list, practice your list. Don't write it on like 5 minutes before. That is the most sound advice I will ever give out to anyone ever.
Get your mates to check your lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it
Friends
at
don't
like
let
3.
friends take untested lists of tournaments.
Yeah, 5 to 12 is not the right time to be submitting lists on deadline day.
So I popped up on the screen now the podium and other things. So Ewan Williams won that event. Alex Richardson came second with Men of the West, and Elliot Harry came third with something. Yeah.
It was Harrod, Far Harrod, I believe.
Oh
Chris played
yes,
him.
with
Yeah,
lots
because
of
he had a lot of
blowpipes.
blowpipes and camels.
Yes, because it was dark, so he brought blowpipes. Yes.
Yes.
Um, then Dewey did a top 3 for good and evil, and he did a few other special prizes. So he had a Rise of Gandalf prize, which was for the person who gained the most places after lunch, which our buddy Aaron Wright won,
Woo!
which is basically you're crap, but you're not that crap, so it's okay prize.
Yeah, I think he had a rough morning and then had an
Did.
exceedingly great afternoon. He just needed the lunch, pushed him into a good
Yeah,
spot,
it was the Burger King, mate. It just kicked you into gear. Yeah.
put him in a good spot on that afternoon. I think he just had an absolutely stellar time. It was a good showing.
And to be fair, it's a much better prize than the Fall of Saruman, which was you did all right, but then
Yeah, lunch killed you off.
yeah.
So, I really thought that I was in contention for that because I got absolutely battered round 3 and 4, and I clearly didn't get battered hard enough.
No, well,
Really?
this is the thing. Will Duckworth, sadly, unless he can tell us differently in the comments, probably didn't have a Burger King for lunch. That was the problem.
That must have been the issue.
That was definitely the issue. And what happened and what went wrong.
We will accept sponsorship deals from Nando's as well if you're there.
Yeah.
Head taker, Ewan Williams. Apparently, there was a separate thing for collecting leader wounds, but I don't remember that ever being told to us. Because yeah, but
I can confirm that Uglook's head was on Ewan Williams's belt by the end of that
nice.
tournament.
On his belt.
He's wearing it on his belt.
Nice, another notch on the belt, eh? And then Dave Wallen brought home the prize for being the most in the middle. So yeah, you and then our top guy was Ben in 11th,
Very
with
good.
Henry in 12th, Chris in 14th, me in 18th, George in 15th. Sorry, Miss George. Me in 18th, Aaron in 19th.
Nick was 23rd.
Nick was 23rd. Bert was 30th. Above Clubby, Jordan was 40th. And then I think we're out of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. How was the event in general? What was the train like for you guys?
Fun but dense. Fun but dense. And
It
I
was
don't like
dense.
rivers.
I'm not a fan of rivers. I'm not
There
a
was a
fan of
lot
rivers.
of rivers. Yeah. So Dewey, if anyone doesn't know, Dewey does a lot of 3D printing stuff. So the vast majority of the train was 3D printed, but it's all his, and it looks very pretty. Um, but there is always a lot of it, especially at his 80. He really crams the boards full of stuff. It makes for some interesting games. You don't normally play with that much stuff. Um, but I know that my final game, we had to kind of like push half it out of the way to even get to the middle. Because it was in a Minas Tirith ruins kind of board, and there was just stuff everywhere. Especially when it's season, we're like you're deploying 12 inches up anyway. The first 12 inches of the board were basically covered in like bits of ruins and stuff, and we're just going to push this out of the way because none of us are going here. Um, but yeah, there's a few that were a little bit.
I got very lucky and only played on one board with water on it, and I actually managed to just avoid going in the water whole game. But I really liked the terrain. I thought it was very immersive, and we'll talk about it on another podcast. But I bloody love immersion.
All immerse you. Um,
I'm same as Ben. Like I was unlucky and I got my first game where water was pretty prevalent and dictated the game for me. But I actually really enjoyed it. There were a couple of boards that I looked at and thought not something I want to play on. But luckily I dodged those bullets.
The
nice.
board,
Yeah,
the board that I
I
saw
played.
that scared me was Bert's one when you played on Goblin Town.
It was just one. It's one of those boards where you just look at and just go, "Oh Christ!" So like we agreed that like the little ledges off the side were just going to be open, just because I couldn't be asked to spend that much time trying to roll a two up, just to move slowly.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
Goblin Town and there's a Lake Town that he has as well, which are just a little bit too much.
I think it's one of those things where like I don't go to that many like GBHL 80s. So I was in a mindset like on that day of yeah, whatever, it's fine. It's a bit annoying, but it's fine. But I think actually playing that game really was one of those. If I came across this board at 100 or even like a decent 90, I would just go, oh man, this is really going to determine the game a lot. And it's also determined by your opponent. Like I was very gracious that my opponent agreed with me that we could just move it freely. But I've also played opponents on Goblin Town boards where they'll just go no, no, need a jump test, and you're just there going, oh my god, this is going to be the slowest game of SBG of all time. So I'm a fan of a very simple, standardized, and flat board. The river I played on round four had like it was gorgeous, but the banks were all kind of like that. So trying to balance metal royal guard on them was just impossible. So it was
Yeah.
very cool. It was very immersive. I was in the mood for it on the day, but by and large, please make your terrain flat, please, please.
um, so this one also had daytime effects, daytime, nighttime. So it kind of transitioned from darkness into daytime into dusky evening into nighttime kind of thing. How was that for you boys?
I I did like it, and I respect the people that read the rules pack and were like, I am going to bring throwing weapons galore because that's like the meta sensible pick. But that did just like it was just shredded through my army, and I didn't bring something with lots and lots of throwing weapons, and I just have to accept that that's the way it was. But it did have I think it did have a massive impact when it was nighttime playing against two defenders of Helm's Deep armies. I just lost a lot more bodies than I was comfortable losing.
Yeah, I debated bringing what sounds very similar to what Elliot brought with like loads of just hood warriors with blowpipes and stuff, and just going, yeah, we'll do that. And then I was like, that just feels a bit, feels like I'm trying too hard, but um, Yeah, so I just brought the same lads I always do. Um, but yeah, uh, and weather in general. But have you got any strong opinions on any form of lightning?
Um, I yeah, that lightning was just it was a bit much. It was a bit much. Now, admittedly, it was like six one in three shots in a row that did it. So it's what one in 729. So it's still not likely that that would happen, but it's still. I think it would be a cool thing if the lightning like tokens, if they were traveling around the board in a random direction. I mean, if there are like two or three of them going around the board, that would be like a tactically, it would still be random, but you could tell which areas of the board to maybe avoid. So in terms of like immersion, if they all end up in one corner, okay, avoid the crap out of that corner. But it was just like, it was one after the other. Attack your leader. Attack the only one in that quarter. Go for the leader again. It just felt a little bit okay. It was like being attacked by Zeus personally all game. It was a bit much. Um,
I agree with Bert, and I like the idea of it being random movement because if we're going for full themey, the lightning's just not going to randomly constantly hit the same spot
The
every single
lightning's not
time.
sentient, is it? Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I quite like Bert's idea of it's gonna fall randomly on the board and it's gonna start like moving around.
So
You
that's
can't
how I
control that.
thought it was meant to be.
Mm,
And then obviously with it being Maelstrom deployment as well, I was like, right, so we need to roll where this is going for like, and start bouncing it around. And yeah, I think it would have been cool if we had like one of them each, and then our two were like dancing around the board. That would have been quite cool.
yeah, that would be really cool.
But yeah, with it being um targeted, that was egregious. I was
I
attacking
was
Bilbo with
really
it because he had the ring on. I couldn't see him, but I was still zapping him with lightning. Like, that's some nice elven cavalry you've got there. Yeah.
I was really lucky that my opponent and I both forgot about it for about the first 3 rounds, and then we basically agreed we were going to do it. And then when we dropped our lightning, it was in the middle of nowhere because we were both absolutely terrified that it would start like a war of just like destroying leaders and things. And I think we just wanted to play the game, so we chickened out of the lightning.
I got very lucky that my opponent just didn't target Ugluk or my heroes because like two lightning strikes and a failed fate, like they're just dead. They're just completely dead. I think the reason he didn't is because they just all looked the same as my Uruk. So when he was glancing across the board, he was like, "Yeah, just that Uruk there." And I was like, "Oh, that's Malho." He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, that Uruk then." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah. And so the final game, it slowed you down by an inch if you were wearing heavy armor.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it was on.
heavy armor affected you. It was also night. Yeah, it was nighttime again as well.
Yeah. I don't think that affected me at all in our game of Seas the Prize because I was playing Buildings against Lake Town.
That
Uh,
that's one thing. That's one thing I did want to point out. Seize the prize for events Bert has been to this year. That's been round six of Into the West. That was round four of Turn of the Tide, and that was round four of Rain of the Mountain. So will TOs please start re-rolling Seize the Prize.
No, don't.
It
I
would be,
actually I like Seize the Prize. It's one of the
No,
few games
Jordan.
that I can
No,
do quite well.
no.
no,
We want.
no, no.
I'm with
I
Bert.
have
I am done and
I
fed
like
up of
it.
now playing Seize the Prize.
well, talking about
I
Seas the
really like it.
Prize, let's roll into the Monster Mash. It is a mash. It is a Monster Mash. It is a mash. So none of you guys came to this, you rascals.
Too chaotic,
Too
mate.
scared.
Yeah,
Uh,
too
Too scared.
scared.
yeah, it was a little bit chaotic, if I'm honest. So
Done
this is
a job.
my GBHL 80. This is 850 points. And then we had two special rules in play. One which was they've got a cave troll, which allowed all armies to bring in one kind of random monster into their mix, which didn't touch the allies matrix at all, didn't affect your army's allies matrix. It was just here's an extra monster. So it could be a hero, it could be not a hero, but they couldn't lead troops. A monster could also be a war beast, so it could have been a monarch or something, but no one did that. Late. And then we had a second rule, which was we've got a cave troll, which was that every monster was a banner. So 3-inch banner, which targeted itself as well. So it kind of zhuzhed up monsters a little bit. The aim was basically people would get some of the toys that you don't normally get out. So things like Moria dragons and um, random Dazzle's Legion trolls, that kind of. I was kind of hoping someone would go full carnage and bring like a Moria list with just a bunch of like cave trolls sprinkled throughout it, so they got full banner coverage and things like that. But yeah, it was an interesting little mix of events of lists. Yeah, various bits of chaos ensued. This is how it finished. So we had Dan Watkins, because none of you guys were there. Henry and Nut came. Um, so Henry brought 2 bears and a dragon. And then I think 3 or 4 Beornings. He was playing like 20, 30 points down or something, so that he didn't have enough Beornings. Like, so someone had to kill the bear or a dragon to break him. That was just a bit of try hardiness that he allowed himself. He went 2-1. He lost the first game, which was kind of Battlefield, to someone who brought a load of spiders and a spider queen. Because he had Druzag, who has fury spiders. So he just had a load of spiders and spider queens that were super high courage and just absolutely murked Henry, bless him. But then Henry won Contest of Champions against Smaug, because it turns out it takes 3 turns for a dragon and 2 bears to kill Smaug. Just
Is
3
Smaug
turns.
fight 9 or fight 10?
9. Fight 9.
Yeah.
And then he also won Seize the Prize, which was our final mission on that event too. He won Seize the Prize against Ian's Ministerialist, which was Ministerial and Treebeard. I don't know. Ministerial and something. Yeah, so that was Henry. Chris brought Azog's Hunters and Legion, which had a troll brute in as well. That was like his kind of token monster, because everyone had to bring our monster basically. Well, you didn't have to, but you got a TP for bringing it. So yeah, Chris was bringing normal Azog Legion, Azog's Hunter stuff, and had a fairly alright time. I can't remember exactly how his games went down, but yeah, he punched a bunch of stuff in the face and had a lovely time.
I think there was one
Aaron,
game where he lost Azog in Contest of Champions, like turn 1, and
he
still won
did.
it 2-0.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
I forgot
Shout
about
out, Chris,
that.
mate. Well done.
Yes.
You just don't need Azog to win Contest of Champions. Well done, my friend.
He was playing against Galadriel, who yeah, he just couldn't kill anything because she's unarmed. So yeah, he managed to get the break on that. And I'd won because something else killed Azog, not Galadriel. Oh, Byhair killed Azog. But yeah, he won 2-0 on contest without Azog for the entire game. Aaron brought Smaug and 2 Mercenary Captain warbands. Like, so the Mercenary Captain warbands were his army, and then Smaug was his ally. He went 1 and 2, so he lost Commander Battlefields because he only had like a few models. He lost contest to Henry because they just kind of ate Smaug, because it turned out Smaug's only flight 9. And then he lost he won Seas against Mark and Mark's Rangers of Mirkwood. Sam Fitch came along. He brought Lake Town and the Watcher, which is a really cool idea. Liked the theme of it. Sam's never used either of those 2 things before. So that wasn't necessarily the soundest idea. So didn't go great for him, bless him. But yeah, he was 1 and 2 somewhere. And Mark went 0-3 with Rangers Mirkwood and Treebeard, and I kept being abused the entire time for not letting him have Treebeard be a tree. Spikes Treebeard quite famously identifying as an ent, not a tree, and it's 2024. So if he identifies as an ent, not a tree, we can't call him a tree. Thank you very much.
But let us know in the comments if you completely disagree with that. A Treebeard is in fact a tree.
In all fairness to Mark, he definitely bought the coolest themed army to that tournament. Just wood elves and then just a giant sentient tree man who is not a tree, unfortunately for Mark. But yeah,
Mark and
he just
Sam
brought,
had my two favorite lists for theme. I did quite
yeah,
like Chris Ryder's Breaking the Fellowship with the Balrog who murked the Fellowship and broke
Yeah,
them.
that's cool.
That was a cool idea. Shame he got his Balrog killed like turn 2 on Commander Battlefield. Um, but it got the Necromancer just kind of went, boop, you're dead. Because he's got the same rule as the King of the Dead. But yeah, so the one that won overall was Rise of Necromancer with Gwai because yeah, turns out double casting Magic Man is pretty punchy. And yeah, Sean was Dwarfs and Gwai here. So Foreign Dane, load of lads and Gwai here. And then Daniel's third place list was a Balrog, 2 Cave Drakes, and then a bunch of lads like 2 Wolf Marauders, a Bat Swarm, and a single Moria Goblin. Because that singular Moria Goblin put his break to the point where, again, you have to kill one of the beasts, I think it was. It was something like that. But yeah.
Please tell me that single Moira Goblin survived every single one of his
I
games.
know it survived seas because he hid it inside one of them Rohan buildings that Bert loves.
Phenomenal.
And my man just couldn't get Gwai here or the Necromancer or anyone in there.
Because their bases are too big. They're phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Goblin deserves a medal.
Absolute Chad Goblin move. But yeah, there's a few pictures on the other slide. But yeah, basically the event was fairly carnage, which I quite enjoyed. There was just stuff everywhere, which was cool to see. And that's Aaron Smaug, which has been best painted. So shout out Aaron for his pretty Smaug.
He did flames come out of his mouth, didn't he, for when he put it on display?
Yeah, which had a little LED inside them.
Yeah,
so it was
that's
like
cool.
cotton wool
Very
with
cool.
wire to strengthen it.
really
Then little
cool.
spray on there.
No, that's
Yeah.
very cool.
I love the fact that it looks like there's 4 different armies in that bottom right picture. Because it's like the Eagles, Gulliver, Treebeard, Khazad-dûm. Yeah, it's
Because that's Mark, the guys by the field, that's Mark's Treebeard and his elves, isn't it? Is it?
no. That's Khazad-dûm, Treebeard, and Quickbeam.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Which I
we
think is a
stand Mark.
normal yellow alliance off the top of my head that you're just allowed to do.
So quite frankly, people should be bringing that to future events.
It didn't do very well.
No, I believe in it. I back it.
It's not on the screen. This
We will
is
do
it's 8.
anything to your
Is
cause.
that
2-1.
see?
Yeah, 2-1,
I'm
mate.
saying that's the new meta. Treebeard, Khazad-dûm.
Treebeard dwarfs.
Yeah.
You love a dwarf, Ben.
I do love a dwarf.
Well, it's got Quickbeam for March, you see.
Oh my, it's just a phenomenal
So,
pick.
so now you've got an 8-inch moving ent that you can use on Seize the Prize and stuff. Look at Bert's face. Bert's loving it. He wants that army. He's gonna bring it. Khazad-dûm with Quickbeam.
There is so much about this event. Like I was just at work having a bad day, and Tom was just feeding me updates, and I was loving the updates. I was loving the pictures, and I also could not have been happier that I was not playing in this event.
Look, this one on the bottom left, which has got like Minas Tirith with a Trebuchet and Boromir and a Treebeard against the Necromancer and Gwai here, just like yeah. Oh, it's yeah. The Smaug and Dragon fight, we'd have to push half the train out of the way just to have a game. Yeah, it was great fun. We had a lovely time, but it was carnage. But yeah, there's a few things I changed for next time maybe, but I did like the vibes. That was fun. But like you, I would have hated to play in it.
It definitely sounded like an event that everyone who attended had a lot of fun.
Yes.
But the pre-event chat, especially because we had a few of our guys going, just terrified me. Like I was sat listening to all these like combinations people were talking about, and I that was what checked me out. It was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I couldn't imagine a dragon and 2 bears killing Smaug. Like,
I think for me it was I just can't be bothered to spend an entire day of my life definitely checking how barge works.
But the beautiful thing about it was because there were so many monsters, no one was actually doing much barging and stuff. because it was just like, well, here's a dragon fighting Smaug. If Smaug wins, the dragon dies. If the dragon wins, like Smaug starts dying. Like it's just yeah. Um,
Chaos.
it was pure like a Balrog just getting deleted in one turn, just boop, gone. Like yeah, it was.
It just stresses me out. It stresses me out.
Next time you do it, Tom, you should live stream like a table each game, and to save me, Ben and Bert playing in it, we'll just do comms for your live stream
Yeah,
from the
we're
comfort of
working on
our
live
hut.
streaming. It's all right. And then that wraps us up. So it takes us on to the current standings in the GBHL. Um, so let's have a look at the teams. But now we'll look at the things. So currently number one at the top is Tom Patterson. That is me. I will not be staying there for long. In fact, if then we would hurry up and update the rankings, I won't be there anymore. Almost guaranteed. But I'm there for now, so we can celebrate it now. I think it's purely off the fact that I've been to more events than everyone else. Well, not more, but I've done better at the ones I've been to. Jamie. Jamie's second. Ben Haslam is third because he's only been to a couple of events, but he's actually done really well at them. Henry's fourth. Dewey's fifth. Sophie sixth. Ben, you're seventh.
I'm
Go on, Ben.
absolutely jazzed about it, mate. Absolutely jazzed.
A nice message from Nana.
Yeah.
But for reference, my friend, I told my dad I was seventh, and my dad went and visited my nan, and my nan sent me an email telling me that she was proud of me. She doesn't have a clue how wargaming works. My granddad used to play a bit of wargame back in the day when I just gave him some dice to roll. But you know what? That email, phenomenal. It's the only reason
It
I
was
try.
the most heartwarming thing I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, like
That's
the
so
only
cute.
reason at this point I go to tournaments and try.
And then we've
That's
got
very cute.
Big Bunsy up in 17th. And
Our boy
Aaron in
George,
27th.
our boy George in 16th.
Yeah, George is 16th. George is 16th.
King of the Noobs.
And Aaron in 27th. It's not on here, but Jordan is currently their top newcomer. Right, Jordan?
Until they update the stuff.
Nah,
Shush.
No,
top newcomer, mate. Top newcomer, babe.
yeah,
You're right.
it's not
You did
gonna
really well at
last.
that 80. But you went to
Did
that
very
doubles
well.
one. You did really
Yeah.
well there. So,
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
and then teams wise, the Gods Gamers ads are at the top because of some of the signings they made over winter. I don't know if any of the guys from Portsmouth have actually done anything yet. The Guardians of Distant Lands doing all right. And then we're up in fifth, which is quite cool. Yes. I haven't checked where News and Numenor are, but I think they're doing all right at the moment. Just do a
I
couple
think,
more
I
scores.
think you said 15th, but I don't know when that goes up
Yeah.
to. But I think
We're
we're
taking
15th.
Simon to an event this weekend, so he should get some points for you.
Are we cool?
More
Yeah, 'cause
points.
anyone didn't know,
for
we've
more.
got two squads because it's too many people. So we've got Team Atomic and then Noobs and Numenor. Yeah, I think we're more of a aiming to be in the top 10 kind of team than aiming to win the whole thing kind of team. But yeah,
We are a team, Tom, just so we can go for dinner after tournaments.
yeah. I mean, that's the
Honestly,
single most important thing. Like,
Single most important thing.
genuine
I-
thing for anyone who's listening to this. Make it a thing because it's amazing. Just go get food
It's
after the tournament with your mates. Have a couple of pints and just generally just chat shit. It is a really nice time.
Nando's was amazing. It was Henry's first Nando's.
Yeah. We're
Other
breaking
than the
down
park
barriers,
sausages.
boys. We're
Yeah.
Henry's first
Brilliant.
Nando's. But have you been for Nando's with us yet?
So you asked me whether I knew what Nando's was.
But do you know what Nando's is? Have you?
I've recently learnt it's like going to a restaurant but without any of the waiters and stuff. It's like doing it all yourself. It's amazing. You tell your phone what you want to eat, and then a teenager brings it to you half an hour later. It's phenomenal.
Half an hour? What Nando's have you been to?
I want to take
actually,
Bert to Yo Sushi.
actually, in fairness, it was Dundee. It was Dundee. So maybe
I'm
not the best
impressed it's
experience.
made it to Dundee, to be fair. But yeah, it's normally like 5-10 minutes, Nando's. That's why we like it. And it's another one. It's a really good one for group outing because you can all order it yourself on your phone to pay for it yourself. You have to like fanny around at the end and then skip out on half the bill. But when you go Pizza Express,
Stop it.
because he can't afford it. Listen to him.
I paid the amount that I feel that meal was worth, and that's fine.
I've tried that a number of times, mate. Even in Tesco, I've been like, I don't think this fruit and veg is worth what you're asking.
Yeah. How about I haggle? Yeah.
Can you imagine to me like, right, Janet on the tills be like, look, Janet, this banana is not worth what you're asking.
This one's got a slight bit of bruising, and I won't put that in my mouth. Yeah, yeah. No, food and drinks for you lads afterwards is a fantastic thing. Make sure you're doing it. It's like the whole reason to come to tournaments with your friends is just go play some games and have a laugh. The winning is secondary, but if you do win, you do get to go KFC. So
Victory chicken.
yeah, victory chicken, and that can be for
We got
winning
victory.
any of the events, not
Yeah.
just actually winning the tournament. But it could be like Chris, who's currently second overall in the best painting rankings.
Yeah, boy. Actually, we need to thank Bert for Victory Chicken after Into the West. I'm not sure he's aware, but his second place in Friendliest Boy led to us going for Victory Chicken.
Yeah, it was a bit clutching at straws, but yes.
Anything for Victory Chicken.
Anything for victory chicken. If you get on a podium, we can have victory chicken. Even if that podium is Friendliest Boy, that'll do.
I wasn't even there.
Yeah, but we
there.
celebrated for
That's
you
not
because
on
we're
us,
a
mate.
team. But
That's not on us.
yeah, we are a team.
And a
I'll be there next time.
Yeah, come for victory chicken with us next time. It'll be right. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. But coming up soon, we've got the Dark Tower GBHL 90 in Darkfire Cafe, which me, Henry, and Henry, Simon, and I are going to. It's 600
Stop
points.
needling me. You know I'd love to be there.
Yeah, well, no, you wouldn't. This is Darkfire. It's 600 points. It's GBHL 90. I'm taking the exact same list as last time. Basically, because I won it last time. It's a veto thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just going to take the exact same stuff and see what happens. Henry, I think, is bringing Goblin Town. I believe he's bringing 69 models of Goblin Town. Nice. And Simon is bringing Angmar.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That's on Saturday this week. And then we've got at the end of the month, A Wizard is Never Late. But he is slightly early for April. I think there's like a whole second section, which is another GBHL 90, but that is in Reading-ish.
Yeah.
Which is being run by Chris Ryder. That one has some rules about if you've got wizards and baggins, as you get to pick scenarios. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, not sure what we're going to taste that one yet, but we'll see. So if you're at any of those events, come say hi. Come have a chat. Preferably not while we're in the middle of a game. And then we'll have the Swindon Skirmish, which I'll be hosting towards the end of May. I've made a Facebook event for it already. Just got to get the rules back and stuff sorted out. But it should be 600 points, 4 games of just straight standard Middle Earth punch 'em up. Haggling with our landlords about potentially borrowing a different shed on our estate to see if we can get a bigger venue or something. If we do, we might use a major minor system if there's too many people. Otherwise, we will just stick with the standard. But yeah, so that's coming up at the end of May.
Not to put pressure on it, this is the event that Ben has won, and we're relying on you for Victory Chicken, Ben. After this one.
It's 600, mate. It's 600, and I
It's
know for a
solely on
fact,
you.
knowing my luck, Caesar prize will come up.
Oh, we've had it too many
Probably
times
not win a
already.
game.
Irrespective of what the TO rolls on the day, it will be seize the prize, final round, and it'll be me on a decent table nearish the top, and I'll lose.
One day you're going to get Caesar prize your final mission. You're going to win it, and the joy is going to be. You're going to have to go for like victory quail or something.
Ben, we can
Is that not a thing the rest of you do?
Victory quail.
No, right. And then much later on in the year, that has just been mentioned for the first time. We have
Drum roll, drum roll.
Atomic
Atomic Vertical.
Verticon. Um, but give us a quick lowdown of what this is in about 30 seconds, and then we'll talk more about it in the future.
We will talk about more about it in the future. Atomic Verticon is going to be the first GBHL 100 ever hosted at Newbury. For those of you who came to the Battle of Newbury last summer, it's back at the Checkers Hotel. We have the whole of their sort of banqueting hall. For us, there's going to be loads of food. There's going to be a sit-down meal. There's going to be some great boards. It's going to be a really good time. There's going to be some very funky prizes. We're going to spend way too much money on prizes. So yeah, first weekend of November. It's going to be a
Prizes for
great time,
everyone, or just
and
prizes for the top people?
pretty much everybody.
What a great day, Jordan! You
No,
can win
pretty much
something.
everybody.
It's the
The
Birdicon.
trophy
Everyone's a
shelf
winner.
will expand.
I will expand on how this system works. But I very much want. I'm a big fan of playing this game to win, and I like systems that incentivize a win. And I think I found a way to make sure that even if you're down in 70th, battling for that final win in the round could result in a very, very nice prize for you.
Nice. We will hopefully make a little video with some more details and things this weekend or so. So look out for that. We'll try and get some info out to you. It's not until the end of the year. It's kind of early November.
It's first weekend of November, so it's going to be the only hundreds afterwards are going to be Sterling and the Masters. So if you're in the south of England, it's kind of your last chance to grab some GBHL 100 points. But it is going to be vibes. It's very much going to be. It's designed so that everyone can hang out in the same place and make some memories together. It'll be beautiful.
If you weren't at Newbury, the food was spectacular, and some mugs went home without eating the food, and then the nice people at the hotel just brought it out anyway. So some of us ended up with like 3 people's meals, and we're talking like there's like stuffed chicken breasts and various
Oh
like
yeah,
salmon
so
thingies
the
and
so in theory it'd be similar. So the dinner for Newbury last year, it was a 2 course meal. We did starters and mains, and I think we had pate, we had like smoked salmon. The mains we had like chicken breast. I think we had like a beef Wellington or something like that for the mains. It was like the food was really, really good. And it's gonna be very similar. I think this year, so for BurstCon, we're gonna have a full banquet style 2 course main and dessert meal, waiter served. It's gonna be gorgeous.
There needs to be a segment on our thing post tournament. We do a little review of the food that we had afterwards.
Yeah,
oh
fully,
yes,
fully.
okay.
Just a little
Every
star.
tournament should have the after dinner. Monster Mash had a very good after dinner that we all went to. The 3 of us hijacked and pretended we went to Monster Mash just for the dinner.
Yeah, even the people who weren't at the tournament came out for dinner and brought the wives and girlfriends along, which was lovely. I think we had a table for 12, which was quite fun.
Table for 12, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
But yeah, so it's just in general, it's all popping off. It's been good. So we'll yeah, hopefully see you shortly. I don't know if there is a next slide. I don't think there is. No. So yeah, thanks for sticking with us, team. Have you got any final thoughts, lads?
Just get excited for BurtCon, event of the year.
Atomic
Outcome
Verticon.
November.
Please have
Atomic
it.
BurtCon.
Yeah.
Atomic Vertical. I'm so excited to get back on the TO train. The idea of being centre of attention for a whole weekend is just thrilling. It's filling me with joy already. I can't wait.
Yeah. Are you getting someone else to help out with the games? Or are you
I
going to
definitely
be
have. I definitely have. I have one person, Mr. Sam Fitch. who was my co-host for Newbury. We're also having the very cooperative Longshanks help co-host because as much as I enjoyed watching Sam have an aneurysm last summer, I think having Longshanks would make life a little bit easier for everybody.
Oh, Longshanks,
However,
what a
I'm very
dream.
keen. Yeah, what a dream. I am very, very, very keen to have some additional help. So if you're not up for full weekend's game, but you want to be involved, do drop me a message. It'd be lovely to have a Berticon team
A Berta team.
get involved.
But you should have uniforms for them.
Oh,
Just wear a suit, mate.
phenomenal.
Just wear a suit.
Just
Just
with
wear a
Bert's
suit.
face on it.
Full three-piece suit. Do you own
Absolute-
a full three-piece suit? Have you been to a GBHL event? Then apply for Berticon.
Yeah. Right. All right, guys. Cheers for watching. I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. My laptop's decided it doesn't want me to press the stop recording button, so we'll just keep saying bye. Bye.
It's
Bye.
like the Teletubbies ending. It just never stops.